Jews are like rats. Where rats appear, they bring ruin by destroying mankind's goods and foodstuffs.
La présence de rats fait allusion à des propagateurs de maladies.
They are found mostly in large packs. In this way, they spread disease.
Tout ce qui est diamants et bijoux, c'est des juifs.
They represent the rudiment of an insidious underground destruction.
Le chapeau en fourrure pointerait un fondamentalisme religieux.
They are cunning, cowardly, and cruel.
Il me semble que les Juifs ont très peu d'humour.
Every year, the Belgian city of Aalst hosts a Carnival parade. Labeled as a satirical event, participants pride themselves in wearing the most provocative costumes. But in the last few years, they crossed the line on many occasions. In 2019, floats featured Orthodox Jews with hooked noses. The giant puppets were surrounded by rats, coins, and money bags. The following year, participants took to the streets to portray Jews as ants and wore Nazi officer costumes. Close by, the crowd watched the show without seeming to notice the similarities with the Nazi propaganda.
We stand firmly against all forms of anti-Semitism. It is unthinkable that these images parade in European streets.
The international community unanimously condemns the carnival. Last December, UNESCO removed the event from its heritage list. Yet in Belgium, we hesitate to take a stand, while some politicians believe that these actions damage our values and the reputation of our country. Others argue that these costumes are a part of the Belgian cultural heritage. Censorship is not appropriate here.
Whoa!
Falling into their own trap. Politicians make their moves, but they haven't taken any concrete measures so far. Their arguments are not wrong per se, but they fully ignore the European historical context. What if our politicians are just too close to see the big picture? It's easy to analyze events that have already occurred. We know how they end and what triggered them. On April 14, 1941, a group of residents from the city of Antwerp burnt down 2 synagogues, smashed hundreds of Jewish-owned shop windows, and set fire to the rabbi's house. The cause? A screening of the anti-Semitic propaganda film The Eternal Jew that the militants attended together in the morning. Today, a few kilometers away from Antwerp in the city of Aalst, the same stereotypes are still alive. Though participants assert that these representations are just humorous, history has taught us that hate speech creates a fertile ground for violence, which can lead to the worst if ignored. It particularly resonates in young people's minds, who don't have the tools to distinguish truth from racist stereotypes. In the 90s, Tutsis were compared to cockroaches and snakes on public radio stations. This process of dehumanization, combined with politicians' hate incitations against Tutsis, pushed the Hutus to grab their machetes and slaughter 800,000 Tutsis in 1994. So what's in store for the Carnival of Aalst? There are only 2 options: regulate the event or witness a catastrophe. Whether the disaster happens next year or in 100 years from now, one thing is certain: it will eventually happen. Allowing the Carnival of Aalst to exist might seem harmless. An oil leak, too, presents no danger until someone lights a match. If we wait for the first spark to appear before fixing the leak, we will arrive just in time to deplore the damages.